And the reason why I picked that particular message is because in those days, and the days in the Old Testament, when they wanted to praise God, they made a song up about everything. If you recount the story of David when he first slew Goliath, and Saul was sitting there and he was feeling a little bit jealous because now people were liking David more than Saul himself. And one of the things that the Bible tells us is the fact that even though Saul had songs, like 100 songs about him and his battles, David had 10,000 songs about him in battle. And so we see that they brought everything into song and as a praise and worship. So I asked you beforehand, whether it be a religious song or not, what is your favorite song and why? Who wants to share? Bob?
I came across a couple of weeks ago. It's called Take Me to the Holy of Holies. And I like it because it takes you on spiritual.
Okay, Take Me to the Holy of Holies. And Bob shared that with me a couple of weeks ago. We actually played it here during a sermon one time, and it was a really, really beautiful song. And it takes you into the true heart of worship. So I can identify with that, and I think that's really cool. Anybody else? Let's see your hands.
I love the Amazing Grace because God's given us is what He's given us. Can't ask for anything better. I really like that song.
Okay, Amazing Grace, absolutely. Anybody else? Now you can put secular songs in there too. I'm going to put one out there. It's by Dire Straits. And every time I hear it, I look at Marcia and I get my broom out usually and play my air guitar, Money for Nothing. And you rock out to it, and it just makes you happy. Okay? So I want you to understand that it doesn't have to be a religious song to make you happy. On my ringtone this week, my messages that come to me plays that whistle from Bobby McFerrin's Don't Worry, Be Happy. And so every time they hear it, you know, I hear people in a minute or two after hearing it, they're going, and it automatically makes them feel good. They say, oh, that's so relaxing, and that's so smooth, and stuff like that. But then I've heard ringtones that were rocking out to AC/DC, Highway to Hell. And that was what they identify with, you know. But it was something that makes them smile. So is it safe to say that music makes you happy? How many of you do not have a song that you like? Nobody? Everybody has a song, right? Which goes, what's that? I heard something. You like them all. You know, whether it be rock, pop, jazz, rap, country, musicals. I love musicals. One of my favorite musicals is Camelot. And I can sing some of the songs from it because I put it to memory because it makes me happy. Also Evita and things along those lines. I just love music, and whenever I'm feeling down, that's my go-to thing to get happy again. I could have one of the worst days whatsoever, and all of a sudden that song will come on the radio, and it will just touch me. And especially at Christmas time, there's certain songs that I really, really like. Now, one that brings my wife great joy at this time of year, because she knows it irritates me, is, yes, I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. And earlier this morning, I had not heard it at all. I'm looking at John and I said, John, I've got this heinous song in my head. And all it was saying, I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Driving me nuts. But it actually made me happy because it reminded me of Marshall. Let me rephrase this. Okay? And it's not the hippopotamus. And you thought your shepherd was good.
He's got to dig himself out now.
I have a spare room, John. It's okay.
Her idea of a spare room for me is a box that's about yay big and about, you go 6 feet under. No, honey, I did not mean that as that. So, when this goes viral, you know, just let it be known and said that I've tried to make amends for Walter. I'll empty out my bank account and everything else, honey. But do you see the joy that we're having over music? How many of us have forgotten our song? How many of us have gotten so busy with the things of the world? How many of us have gotten so worn down by the negativity of this season that we have lost the ability to sing? Now, I'm not talking about having a beautiful voice, because God doesn't care if you have a beautiful voice or not. If you play an instrument and you've lost it, I used to play the trumpet, and I was actually halfway decent. I actually was. John, I know you didn't hear me because I played it in high school, and you were not at my high school. But what I'm saying is, and I remember when Darius picked up the trumpet, and I asked him to borrow it, and the only thing that I could play that wasn't the greatest was taps on it from this point on. I had lost my ability to play the trumpet. And it kind of made me a little bit upset, a little bit sad, because I really enjoy playing trumpet. My whole dream was to be like Dizzy Gillespie or, yeah, John?
Leanne can play better than you could.
Of course she can. She plays a lot of instruments better than I can. But the thing is this, the fact that I lost my lip for the trumpet doesn't stop me from using music to not only entertain, but to bring healing. To be able to take brokenness and turn it into joy. How many of us, in the midst of our brokenness, will reflect on songs like Amazing Grace or entering into the Holy of Holies and stuff like that to boost us up? When we go into nursing homes, and this is a proven fact, that they did studies on this, that when you go into a nursing home and you can have somebody who is on the verge of dementia and Alzheimer's, and all of a sudden, you know, you're trying to talk to them and they're not saying much of anything, but you start playing one of those hymns that they connected with when they were younger. And boy, they start singing it word for word. Turn with me, if you will, back to the scriptures. I really appreciate that first one that we read about John the Baptist. Because Zechariah, from the moment that he was told that his wife Elizabeth was going to have a baby, and he didn't believe, the Lord took his voice from him. And when he did that, he said, you're not going to say another word until the birth, because you didn't believe in me. And so I'm not going to reread this, but when the birth was given, he started, his first words weren't like, hey, guess what, I got to talk again. His first words were a song that touched his heart, and he blessed his child. Parents, reflect for a moment. Have you ever sang your child to sleep? Chances are, absolutely. And they fell asleep in blissful sleep to whatever song you sang to them, because it brought them such peace. And that song or songs that you sang to them is going to be with them for the rest of their lives. And they will start singing that song to their children. I remember when Marcia and I first got married and first had April and Leanne and then Joshua, she would sing songs that my mother, that she heard one time, sing to a grandchild. And she picked up on that. And she started singing it. And I said, hey, that's what Mom sang. And she goes, yeah. And it brought back beautiful memories. There's another song that is in here. This is Mary's song. And let me get that scripture. It's also in the book of Luke. And that is Luke 1, verses 46 to 54. This is Mary's song. And Mary said, my soul glorifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God my Savior. For he has been mindful of the humble state of his servant. From now on, all generations will call me blessed, for the mighty one has done great things for me. Holy is his name. His mercy extends to those who fear him. From generation to generation, he has performed mighty deeds with his arms, and he has scattered those who are proud in their innermost thoughts. He has brought down rulers from their thrones, but has lifted up the humble. He has filled the hungry with good things, but has sent the rich away empty. He has helped his servant Israel, remembering to be merciful to Abraham and his descendants forever, even as he said to our fathers. A song that blesses God. You know, I talked about people who have lost their song because maybe they feel that they're at a stage in life where they feel their gift is gone. It's not gone. Do I have your permission to share the story about you and your sign? She's on. Okay. Second information. I remember when Marcia's health issues interfered with her signing ability. She used to be able to sign for hours on end. And I remember her standing up in Fort Wayne at the Memorial Coliseum with all the Christian concerts and even some of the rock concerts and that, signing to the multitude of people the different songs that were playing by the artists. And as she was losing her ability to have that stamina, she was wondering about, why would God give me a gift and then take it away? And so I asked her, I said, do you still know how to sign? And she said, yes. And I said, well, then God didn't take your gift away. He's just changing. There are things that we do to praise God. And we sometimes feel that because of physical limitations or time restraints and things along those lines, that we can no longer be served by, be serving God the way that we have become accustomed to. And the sad thing is, that's a lie. We still have our song. Corrie ten Boom, who was a prisoner of war in the Holocaust, who had seen her parents and her siblings get killed right in front of her, reminded herself daily that even though she had lost the family and that these people were able to take away their lives, they could never take away her spirit. And many years later, after she was able to take and see the same person who executed her parents and siblings, as she was speaking at a rally, he came up to her, expecting her to let it all be broken loose, and judgment and condemnation. And her grace, which I know she got from the grace of God, spoke louder. And she said, you are forgiven. I don't hold this against you. You see, I used to be part of the singing group. I know how to believe. And I used to enjoy it very much. I would love to be part of the singing group. But even if I never become part of the singing group, I will forever have a song in my heart. What about you? Now, I can't offer the same gifts that I did before. I can only offer one thing. And Marsha, if you would be able to play the song that I asked you to pick out. I want you to listen to this song. It's a familiar song. It's done in a more modern version, so you'll be able to get it if you feel it. But I want you to listen to the words, because the words haven't changed. Especially to the one part when it says, I have no gifts to bring. Be below the screen, too.
Watch your favorite 24/7 music.
So to
King's Country. Go ahead and close the The important thing here is this. When you heard him say, I have no gifts to bring, but I will play for you. And I will do my best for you. That's what I'm talking about. Now, Marcia tells me on a regular basis that she doesn't believe herself to have a good singing voice. Okay? When she signs, you've all been part of it, you wept, haven't you? Because she did her best at that. And that's what makes this song so special, is when you put your heart and soul into it, and when you take and you give of yourself in that song, and you worship God with that. God doesn't care if you sing like a vulture or if you sing like a canary. God doesn't care if you play the most greatest instrument in the world or you play yourself a little, tambourine, whatever, triangle thing. What he cares about is the message that it brings. There's times when I want to listen to radio with all my heart and being, and the power goes out. And I sit there and I hear people saying, well, I ain't got no radio. I said, do you have a song that you can remember? And they're like, well, yeah. And I said, well, tell me that song. And they started telling me about it. They started singing it. And I said, you forever now have. You forever now have that song that you can play over and over and over again in your mind. You don't need no radio. You don't need no music video. That song is not you. So, my message to you is this. Let your song sing with all that you are. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be like voice quality where they judge you for the notes, because God is not judging you on those things. God is looking at your heart and looking down and saying, oh, that is so beautiful, just like you were doing. Bravo. Bravo. So, if you lost your song, start thinking about it. Recall the words. If you think your song has changed, like I said in the prayer, you're not a one-song symphony. You have a whole orchestra, an overture for your life. And you'll have many songs and many different variations. That's okay. Just sing. Let's pray. Blessed Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for today. I want to thank you for your message, for songs. Oh, I love you. I want to thank you for the songs that have brought me through the darkest times. I want to praise you for the songs that makes me weep with joy as I sing unto you. Or think about those songs or hear them. Those songs instantly touch my heart, and it just makes me sing all the more in my spirit for you. I want to thank you for your song to the world, which is Christ our Lord. And at this Christmas, and every day henceforth, may we never, ever lose the song. We may lose our ability to share it at times, but it's forever part of us. And may our hearts and spirits sing praise unto you. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Turn with me, if you will, into your hymnals. And we are going to sing page 192, O Little Town of Bethlehem, first verse. No, I'm sorry, wrong bulletin. 189, while shepherds watch their flocks.